Is in the book, so now the post-game analysis begins about the commercials.
USA Today ranking the Doritos Crystal Ball ad as number 1.
Free Doritos at the office today? I think that's a yes! Free Doritos!
Joining us now is Vinnie Warren. Vinnie's the creative director at the Escape Pod in Chicago, also the creator of the Budweiser What's Up campaign. What did you think about the commercials yesterday, Vinnie?
Well, I thought it was kind of like the same as it ever is. 90% of it is awful and 10% of it is decent. That's kind of the way it goes usually. So it was just pretty much par for the course, really.
What made it into the decent category?
For me, I thought the best ones were the best ones that were kind of good ads and not just uses of the Super Bowl for kind of stunt effect. I liked this career builder spot, and I thought the Bud Light Conan O'Brien spot was a smart use of him, and the Denny's spot was good too, I thought.
Yeah, I don't understand why the Doritos Crystal Ball seems to have been ranked number 1. If anything, I liked the Doritos Superpower ones better than that.
Well,
I'm a woman.
I know. I mean, it's your personal preferences versus the preferences of the mass, audience. And I think the Doritos spot was just, it lived up to the sort of the template of the successful Super Bowl spot. It was, very broad, childishly simple, cartoony almost, and that tends to score highest. So that's just the way it is,
$3 million is a lot of money to spend for 30 seconds and not make very good use of it. You'd think with a lot of professionals and a lot of time to think about it, they could do better.
You would, but I think a lot of people, the pressure of the game kind of gets to people, and people get so desperate to entertain everybody that they'll sometimes forget to do a good ad in the process, because there's so much focus on it, there's so much attention on it, that like if you look at the top 5, for example, in the USA Today poll, I mean, really, I would say maybe one of them is a good ad, you know what I mean? But that's the way it goes.
Some people decided not to spend any money on a new ad at all, it seems. They spent just the money on the time.
Yeah, and that's fine. If you've got a great ad, the key thing to remember about the Super Bowl is that it's the huge audience. And if you've got a great ad, put it on the Super Bowl. It doesn't have to be specially made for it. I think that's where a lot of people mess up, is trying to over-impress and use the occasion too much,
Is it possible that these ads might be slightly misdirected in the sense that, it's a huge audience, but it is still a specific subset of the population?
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, in a sense, I think everyone watches the Super Bowl. I watch it, my kids watch it, my in-laws watch it, So, in a sense, you're talking to everyone at once, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be lowest common denominator, slapstick, kind of tedium to me, anyway,
Well, you are the expert, so we appreciate a couple of minutes of your time.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much. That is Vinnie Warren. He's the creative director at the Escape Pod in Chicago and creator of many of the ads that you have seen over the years on the Super Bowl.